follow the finger.
Restorations where all turns new. Bikes and cars revived, it's quite a view. With Kaz and Winnie, the restoration team will make these classics fulfill their dream. Watch the sheds from rust to shining chrome. Each builds a journey, I'm glad you come along. Live on restorations, get your motor running. Like and subscribe, keep the channel humming.
Yeah, kids, I hope you'll find you well. BT back in his little garden of making things. Right after that shed has been completed and the garage for the mobility scooters. They're in there somewhere, I promise there's two in there. Since that's been done, and I've done that potting shed for Shaz, for Kaz there. I said Shaz because that's our next door neighbour and I've also done a shed for them. I was left over with this 4-foot side piece and that 2-foot side piece because when I put that against the wall, I saved that much fencing or shed sides from having to put that on there, you see. So I have this left over. Now I have two mini scoops which go in the back of the car. Here's one in pieces. There, look, that's Caroline's one when we go down shopping. So we put that together at the back of the car and off we go. But when we come back, obviously, for the time being, they're sort of in here and it really stops any form of progress in the shed. So therefore, I'm going to make something, a sort of enclosure or something. This is the wood we've got left from everything. There's still original pieces of wood there from the old original wooden timber shed. Okay, yeah. So anywho, it's not a big pile. There's that's a table, stainless steel table there with the barbecue grilly thing on it. So basically, we've just got that bit of wood there. These bits of wood there, nothing of real length or structure, just offcuts, bits and bobs, and that piece, and a bit of old flooring, bit of tongue and groove. I think it's 3/4 inch, something like that. This side down. Yes, boss. Okay, good job. I just read that, isn't it? 18mm. So my plan is to turn this over, obviously, because that's the underside. Make some sort of batten rectangular framework to sort of sit on here to raise that off the slabs, but nothing's going to be fixed down as such. So it's going to be a movable cabinet. And then I've got some plastic wedges, if you like, to put underneath the rectangular frame, which the floor will sit on, to insulate the wood from the slabs, because this does get rather wet during the winter, as you can imagine. So that will hopefully stop any form of rot. But I will be treating, once I've assembled something, I will be treating all that anyway with a what am I treating it with? Something like that. Or I've even got a couple of tins of wood decking oil. That gets soaking like that. Right, so once that's done, I'm going to need quite a bit of depth. Like I said, we've got 2 foot and a 4 foot. So I've measured there. So that's 3 foot and there's a foot. So I'm going to put a batten down here and then slice down the middle. So we have a foot that we can take and bolt onto the side of there. So we have a nice, basically out to about here. So it's not intruding too far. We've still got a walkway and something sort of along here kind of thing. That's what's in my little brain. So yeah, wish me luck. I hope I've got enough knickknacks to sort of do stuff, eh?
Yes.
And yeah, better crack on. That's my birthday present from Kaz. 2 of them. They fold up quite nice. Really good, handy little tables actually. Anywho's, right, let me crack on. Time for a brew, don't you reckon? Anyway, I hope everyone's keeping well. Like and subscribe if you like. Thank you to the guys that have bought me a coffee on here. Thank you. Everything helps to get the little fasteners and bits of wood here and there and all the rest of it. So yeah, catch you in a bit. Take your baby by the wrist and in her mouth an amethyst. Right, how are we getting on? We are progressing. I'm posh here. Look, got real lemon. Hippie lemon juice. Right. So far I have used what was the 3 old wooden fence posts that were not brilliant, but I've cut off the rot and I've made the base using a couple of the old loft boards that I've yet to fit, obviously. My golly, this is proper, and it's all insulated from the ground via my wedges, which I will nip off later on with one of those multi-tool, whatever, I think they're multi-tools, aren't they? Whistle that off later. Now I've had to measure that to that, which is now that. There's the part we sawed off there. So that needs to be glued onto that, or nailed, screwed onto that to make that shorter side, you see. Now I've done that because A, that's the width we need for the scoots, and B, 2 brackets there for that to go on. So hopefully that should still fit up there and there. So anywho's, what we got here, what outdoor and this beer. I think we know what time it is. Time to get clear. Pretty darn jifferoony, and proof is in the pie is the diagonal, and there we go. Always check your diagonals, guys, when you're doing stuff like that. Gives you the true thingy. What I like about these wedges is obviously they're wedges, and you can just tap them in 1 notch at a time. Just tap, if that one's loose, tap it in a notch, and so on and so forth. And when we get a bit of weight on here, not me, but the shed, that's that. Anywho, Kaz has just given me a hand to slice that off there. Now I've got to get some sort of piece of wood. I found this old piece here. Look how warped it is. Actually, that's the good edge. Look how warped that is. So I've put that curve that way. So what I want to do now is get a couple of screws up under there, remove that clamp, put it there, put some more screws whilst teasing this over to where it's square. Clamp, screw, clamp, screw, clamp, screw, and so on until that's finished. Then there's a little bit of overlap there because that bit sits over that left hand edge there. So that should then go up against here like so, and then that side, make some bracketry in there because I'm going to need to put some shelves in there. Not sure what I'm going to do with the roof yet because I haven't got any felt, but I have got feather edge. I have got lots of treated feather edge. I might just make a feather edge roof. Yeah, just to, sort of type of stuff. Got all this stuff to fanny around with. Got a stainless steel sheet there. It's crying out, isn't it? It's crying out. Right, now, anywho's, I measured that, and then I thought, right, okay, we'll measure that. We'll cut the bottom at that, which is what we've done. That's exactly, and you'll see some adjustments here. And the reason being, that end is shorter. Yes, that end's shorter. And the reason for that is when we put the spirit level against the wall to where it's sort of level, like so, and we slide that down, we got probably 8 mil gap there, which is within tolerances. But obviously, if I cut all the way up at 34.5, what that is, when it sits against the wall here, it's going to have a gap there, and it's going to push it forward here. So what I did was I looked at the angle of the wall and it seems to be level from sort of 6 foot down to about 4 foot, and then it dives in like little tiny bit. So that's exactly what I did here. Measured that at 34.5. This is minus 8 mil from that 34.5. Then I kind of did a line sort of using what I had in my little brain to picture in my head the curvature. So I've cut that, and hopefully it will go back to the wall nice and snug. But who knows? I have this stuff here, which is like a foam rubber sort of sticky back thing. What I'm going to do is put a bead or two, actually a couple of beads of this down that back edge, all down here. So whilst it goes against the wall, it'll take up any discrepancies of difference of verticalness there. So that should sort of take that up and just make it a bit more draft proof. And that the trick is to make it watertight, is to get around that gutter somehow. I've got ideas, I've done it before. It's a bit Heath Robinson, but it works, and we'll see. Good old duct tape. Anyway, let's crack on with this. I need to sort that out. I had a tiny bit of glue left from that job, that building job. A tiny bit of wood glue. So literally all of this is 4x2. I've cut that at 45 degrees in there. There's no edges sticking out, as you can see. It just needs a bit of sanding off or whatever. So yeah, everything's glued and screwed. All that stuff, so you can't, rodents can't get, they can get in to there, but they can't get under there because there's actually a piece of plastic under there, another wedge. The rodents can't get in and under there and make mischief. I'm really tempted to, before I put the walls up, I'm really tempted to just lift that off the ground again, go around it with a pencil so I know exactly where to replace it, and then treat it to some fence stuff, just to give it a little bit more waterprooferness. All good. Right, don't know what I'm going to make a door out of. I ain't got a clue, but we'll get there. A bit of trellis work. Okay, let's crack on then. Okay.
Ow!
Ow!
Yeah.
Well, that kind of worked, didn't it? Screw down the bottom. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up there. It was so warped. Kaz had to give me a hand, didn't you? And stand on there whilst holding the spirit level up there. Whilst I drilled in through pre-drilled holes at an angle into the wall, then raw plugs and 3-inch screws. All right, man. Okay. Right, yeah. I've had a pack away. That's pretty good. Here you go. What did you say it looked like?
Portland.
Go on, have a squat then.
Oh, we have got a camping toilet upstairs.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have a little, you know, one of the crescent moon little lookout bits in the door.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm not digging a hole. I'm not digging a hole.
So there we are. That's it for today. I've got lots of other stuff to do, but what I want to do is take off all these little bits and just put new, because we got new, well, pre-painted stuff here, look, and lots of it, and they're quite long, so we've got to go as far as we can down there. But yeah, that's temporary. It's just to keep it, because this wall is warped and it wants to go that way. This one's vertical and lovely. Well, yeah, it's not bad, is it? Job's a good one. Right. However do you want me? However do you need me? Come on, sing along. Right, okay. It's the next day. I'm naked. I'm doing naked shed building type cabinet thing. Right, this is where we've got to so far. Another beautiful day, as you can see. And this is called progress, I think. Not sure. Anywho, so we've got some sturdy structure to it now. I've just put these on around this orifice just to keep things square, and it's working. So It's all jolly good. I won't show you that side. Right, so I've put a piece of feather edge there, on there, and then I put a block of wood there, screwed it from below and glued, screwed it and glued, and then I put a piece across the top there, a nice level piece like that. Put that along there, and I found whereabouts this thing touched the ruler, and I had to chip fuse a little bit out of that, and then glue and screw down from the top. I think there was a screw in there. Yeah, I think so. You see it? Anyway, there you go. Oh, we've got sides. We've got frame for the top, basically. What I was going to do is I was going to put a bit of this 6mm ply on it, but it's just not fit for purpose. Now I had that great big spare sheet that I brought down from the loft, so I thought, right, I'll put that up there, but unfortunately they're only 600 wide, which is the distance from there to there. It's 2 foot 600. Of course I need a bit of overlap each side, which equals 29 inches. 26, yeah, 29 inches. So I shoved this piece in on the top there, just offered it up and slid it in, so I had 2 inches overhang all the way down here. And I came in here with my pencil. You imagine the board's here. Came in here with my pencil, literally did a sort of mark. Vernier this 70mm, so I marked made sure it literally was 70mm, and I marked that piece there, so that piece had to be cut out, and then that piece had to be cut out there. So I got my old hole cutter. Actually, it was a very blunt hole cutter in the end. There's my old hole cutter. You can see on there 70mm, and look how blunt those teeth are. I call this my safety blade. Okay, that's my safety blade, so you can't cut yourself on it, but it will eventually melt its way through chipboard. It went through really quickly. That's why I've never thrown this away, because it whizzes through. Okay, those of you that don't know what these are, this is a stirrup cutter. So it's located via those 2 pegs in the bottom there. See, there's 2 pins, and as I unscrew this, you'll notice 2 little pins there. Look, and as I unscrew it, they come down, and when they go right in like that, they unlock this piece, which then spins off, and you can go and put any one size on you want, screw that down on there again, and then you do this piece up, which raises them pins and locks it in place. Okay, so this piece can actually move around very slightly. It doesn't have to be bolt tight. Anywho's, so I did that. I down there. This is the offcut. Let me just show you. Yeah, so I measured that. That's 70mm. So I cut that in there after the hole, obviously, and I centered where that downpipe will go here. I did that, cut the hole out, and that's so when this board goes in, hopefully I can do 2 little holes there, 2 little thin holes there, and put a piece of batten across on here, glued to here, so then I can put that up and screw, and then that will fix that into place around the back, hopefully, of this, like that. It's not bad, is it? So there we go. I might just leave it. No, I don't. I need to do some drilling, don't I? And that. So there we go. That's as far as I've got. Then I thought to myself, well, that's not wide enough. How much difference is it from the edge of there to 2 inches overhang from the frame? And it was 150mm, 6 inches. So I managed to find a couple of bits of board with tongue and groove on that were still actually offcuts from the first effort down there. So I basically cut that off, obviously, Glued that in there with the old EvoStick wood glue, external wood glue, guys. If you're doing outside work, makes all the difference, trust me. So yeah, glued along there, glued all. I glued this piece and slotted it in. Ooh, madam. This piece doesn't matter about here because this is the overhang over the front edge, and it overhangs by about 7 inches. So I didn't bother cutting that because I do need to cut that at some point when the roof is actually on there. So I'll come back in a bit when this has gone hard. Double entendres are plenty today, aren't there? I need to go and get myself some Ribena, I think, to celebrate the achievement. What? I love this kind of thing because Karen says, oh, what are you doing? What's the plan? I go, well, it's all up here. It's all in the Swede, and you know, I look around, I need a piece that's 615 mil wide, long. And I just run through the pile looking for a adequately thick piece of wood. And that's the bit that goes in. It's as simple as that, basically. But there we are. Have I made any mistakes yet and had to undo any of my work? Not today, not so far. So that's good. The door. What I've got left over, basically, is 7 sheets of this tannalized, which is pressure treated. So it is it's pressure treated for rain and stuff, so it doesn't rot, and that's good for a year. They say 2 years, but nah, it's good for a year, so you will have to treat it. I've got 7 lengths of this, and it's basically doing nothing now. So this is now going to be my door. Okay, I've got a 10 mil down there, bit up here. I don't worry about that so much because I'm going to be going over at that with this grey composite, which will match the shed. Lovely, isn't it? It's good stuff. It's sort of like cement, but you can saw it. It's really weird. It's very strong, and it's waterproof. I don't know how it's cement but waterproof, but it's a composite of cement and something else. Polyurethane, probably. I don't know. So all these little bits and pieces are coming together. So I'm going to be making myself a flipsy flopsy door, and I should be putting sort of ziggy zaggy on the back of that, making a frame, just well, basically that in effect. And then all I've got to do is put some hinges on like that, just on one side of obs. And somewhere I found a little bag of hinges. What do I do with them? I don't know. What did I do with them? I just the whole of this project, I've been moving these hinges around from here to there, back again. Anywho, you'll see them in a bit when I come to stick them on. Anywho, right, Ribena time it is. I'm going to go. Watch me go fly tipping. Right. Oh, you can't be a bit of fly tipping, can you? Do you know what? Just between you and me, right? I was actually going to do a video. I was going to go and collect all the dead flies up on the windowsill, put them in a little egg cup or something. I was actually going to make a video, sort of like a covert operation, and I was going to fly tipping at its best. You know, I was going to get me car, beg your pardon. Balaclava'd up. What do you reckon? Drop a bleep down the bottom, please. If you want me to do that video, I will do that video, and I will collect some flies, put them in a cup, and I will go somewhere in sort of like a gateway to a field or something, and I will fly tip. Okay, that's the plan. So let me know if you want me to do that. I think it'd be a bit of a giggle, in all fairness. Oh, my arms really hurt. Ow. So yeah. Okay, I'll come back when this has gone hard, and we'll get it up on the roof together. We'll see how that slots in. Double entendres. I'm back on form, aren't I? I don't know. Anywho, that's as sticky as you like. What? You're not having any Ribena? No, it's Daddy's. Yeah, I know what he's after. Anywho's, right, the glue's gone off now on this roof panel. As you can quite clearly see, I've just sort of offered it up there. So now we can all push together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, how's that? That looks pretty good. So we should have... Ah, that's it. That's sat in there nicely now. Yeah, we've got a good inch that side. And a good 2 inches that side. So that's great. I can just trim that up later. Now I can go along, pencil that line in, transfer it up over the top. And we can whiz along that edge there. And you know what? That's not bad, is it? It's not bad at all. Just need to get that piece put back up in there. And then we're done. And we're okay. So that's good. Right, I'm going to leave that there. There will be an episode 2, I think, because otherwise it's going to be like an hour long, this video. And we don't like that, do we? Too long videos. Do you, mister? Right, so like I say, like and subscribe to the channel if you like to see what is happening next. I've got a feeling it's going to be the BSA A3 aerial, followed by the Bergman. It's got to be done. So there we go. Okay, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up, please. And yeah, I'll see you when I'm a millionaire. And thanks again to the guys that bought us, and you girls that's bought me a coffee. Much appreciated. Take care. I'm going to have a sip of Ribena, actually. Cheers. Fades out into music. No, it doesn't.